Hi, Julian Thornton here from the Fat Adaptor and Keto Kitchen. This is I think the fourth or fifth video that I'm shooting. I'm just doing them all in a row here to try and break it up for you so you can digest this. First tip was eliminate sugar. Second tip was eliminate bread, wheat, gluten. Okay. Third tip was where are we? Intermittent fasting. And now I want to talk to you more about this whole idea of ketogenic diet. And you know, I've been in a lot of groups and listened and watched and learned from different individuals, and everyone's got a different idea of it. And some people get really upset if someone has a different idea of it. And I think, you know, there's no right or wrong way. I mean, there's obviously some very wrong things to do, you know, like eating sugar. Like, you know, if you're in a ketogenic diet and you're shoving down a litre of ice cream every couple of days, well, you're not going to lose weight, are you? You're not going to solve your insulin resistance. You're not going to, you're continuing to be in that tumble dryer and that cycle. So you've got to get out of that cycle. And the only way to do it is to stop sugar, stop eating gluten. And you know, start looking at this ketogenic fat adapted thing. So there's a difference, I think, between the ketogenic and the fat adapted side of things, for me at least, because I can't eat a lot of meat, and I can see a lot of people are eating 30-40% meat in their diet a day. I'm doing like 85 grams. It's like 10% of my diet is you know, meat, animal flesh, whether it's fish or fatty meat or whatever. So ketogenic, you know, most people are talking about eating lots of bacon and vegetables and just cutting out sugar and bread, and that's fine. For some people, they're losing an enormous amount of weight just doing that. So you can blend this to suit you. If you get results just doing that, fantastic. Now, the distinction that I've sort of made or found is that it's this idea of fat adaptation, or being fat adapted, and increasing the amount of good fats that you have in a day to 80%, like 75-80%. Carbs around about 10, and protein between 10 and 15, something like that. We try and get the net carbs under 10%. So, you know, and I use the Chronometer app for that. I'll talk about the Chronometer app in a minute, or in another video. So becoming fat adapted is really super important for me. Now, I'll say it again, I'm a 48-year-old man, insulin resistant, not pre-diabetic, not type 2 diabetic, but must have been heading there. The first time I did my blood glucose reading, it was type 2 diabetes territory. It was quite scary. So anyway, it's a lot better than that now. So, you know, my typical day with eating is avocados, olives, waxy fish like salmon and tuna and that kind of thing. But I want the fatty tuna, I want the fatty salmon. So it's full of omega-3. If I'm going to eat meat, I'm not going for the lean stuff, I'm going for the high fat. I'll get a high fat cut of meat, like a ribeye Scotch fillet with plenty of fat on it, or porterhouse, and I'll get that ground. I'll have that minced, as we say here, because you need the fat. I'm adding coconut oil and grass-fed butter to my cooking, a lot of it. I mean, I could put 60 grams of a combination, of the two into the pan while I'm mixing everything up. So, you know, I'll have lots of green vegetables, lots of butter, lots of coconut oil or macadamia oil or avocado oil, and I don't go too heavy on the meat. So, you know, there's a formula, and I'll put the formula in somewhere down below this video, that helps you work out how much protein you should be having each day. And if you have too much protein, that can start a process where your glucose goes up, your insulin goes up, and you're, you know, back into the same problem if you're eating sugar. So you don't want to sabotage your good work by eating too much meat, which I was doing, you know, because you've got to remember, I was stuck at 110 kilos for 5 or 6 weeks, and I didn't worry about it. you know, for me, this is like a change of lifestyle, and I needed to do something. So, and I haven't even started exercising yet. So, you know, losing 25 kilos or 55 pounds, whatever it is, in 3 months without any exercise, to me is an absolute miracle. And, you know, why can't you do it, really? So this tip is all about increasing the amount of fat that you eat. And the next video is going to be great, because we're going to increase something else, and that is completely against what you've been told before. So it involves the Chronometer app, and we'll talk a bit more about that. So you're going to love the video that's coming out next. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and talking about that. And if you like what I'm talking about here, like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you know, just write a few comments about where you're at, what you want to achieve, and we can just engage in a conversation about, you know, how you feel about this stuff, because it can be quite confronting for some people, and I totally understand if you think it's complete nonsense, but you know, I want you to understand that, you know, I was in a very desperate situation, and it just took some very simple things to change to make my life so much better now, because I've got control of this for the first time in my life, really. You know, certainly since I turned 25, and I'm 48 now. So I really hope that this will continue to, you know, shed another 20-25 kilos. So I'm down to sort of 80-85. You know, to get there, I need to lose 15 more kilos, you know, 30 pounds. To me now, that's like nothing. so I'm really excited about it. So anyway, I'll sign off this video now. Just like the video, put a comment below, let me know who you are, where you're from, what your particular situation is, and if I can help you, I'll point out the best way for you. Okay, thanks.